even if you got to be, if you turn around at the last minute and and get right, but you got all of these souls that you led astray. Yeah, that was your lot, because the Most High ultimately, the Most High didn't want those souls, but it was your lot to be put in there to deceive them. But even the deceiver is gonna have to pay a hefty price before he gets into the kingdom. So if you was out here deceiving Israel, yeah, you made a turn at the last minute. That's fine and dandy, but hey man, the Most High is not mocked. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna reap what you sow. You're gonna get, it's gonna be a hefty price. You're not getting in there, you're gonna get in there bruised the F up. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. You may get in there with no lower parts or something, man. Lose both of your legs. You know what I'm saying? So who wanna have to go through that? But that's pride. When a man is in that space of pride, he can't see that. He can't see that.
That's a big demon, man. That pride demon, man, it's no joke.
Want me to skip the first 17?
Yeah, skip through 17.
Skipping down verse 17, it says, "And thy counsel who hath known, except thou give wisdom, and send thy Holy Spirit from above." Verse 18, "For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom."
There you go. So men were saved through wisdom or doctrine. So that's the reason why us men of great millstone, beginning with our apostles and elders, that's why we always talk about doctrine so much, because men are going to be saved through doctrine, aka wisdom, man. That's why they're not going to be saved. Why? Of course, faith, but it's faith in that doctrine. It's faith in the proper doctrine. That's how they're going to be saved. So if we just, if we just say, hey, listen, it doesn't matter what your doctrine is, then guess what? We all going to be destroyed, man. We can't do that.
Yeah, and you hear what the scripture said. It said the men were reformed. Reformed.
Change. Yeah, change. Because a whole lot of this embargo stuff, the pressure of embargo ain't really going to be real like that. Because all of that quote-unquote embargo, what is good? Because let's deal with embargo, right? Actually, let's look that up. Let's look up the word embargo.
Or Christianity, if you will, the belief system.
Yeah, but I want to deal with embargo. Let's deal with embargo.
It said when they got you to believe to keep Christmas
Jake likes to
and
throw
eat
out
pork,
words.
that's having the mark of the beast.
Jake like to throw out words, and Jake kind of like plays into the fact that simple Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't look up words. So now let's bring up the word embargo.
And this is the final destination. You realize the mark of the beast is going to be the final destination and fate of a lot of our people. So, and the reason why he doesn't go into it or debate about it or do videos on it is because he thinks that it's not important. That's final destination for a lot of our people.
Right. You got it?
I got it.
Bring it up.
It's the word embargo, and what's it called? On Google, it says an official ban on trade or other commercial activity.
An official ban on trade and other commercial activity. Go ahead.
With a particular country.
With a particular country. So, there's some more on that?
Yeah. Seize a ship or goods for state service.
Right. So when you deal with embargo, a lot of times it deals with what? Foreign relations, foreign policies. When you're dealing with trades with different other nations, right? Goods, cargo trades. Now, we as a people, first and foremost, yes, we are a nation, but we don't have a land, right? We're owned right now. Unfortunately, we're owned by the Edomites. All right. So if you want to deal with embargo in trades, and you say what the mark of the beast is embargo, or the ban that's going to be put on the trades. Well, you right about one thing. You right about the fact that let's get to our Revelation 13. Because the embargo part, there is going to be an embargo issue going on. That's true. Why? You're going to have the Third World War, right? During the Third World War, certain nations are not going to be banned from trading from others, right? During the Third World War, China ain't gonna be out here doing trades with with America, with Babylon. Iran ain't gonna be doing trades with Babylon, or vice versa. You're gonna have an embargo, just like you had an embargo with America, Babylon, and Cuba, right? Because they were at odds. So are you gonna have an embargo? Do it though? Which one? Yeah, you're gonna have an embargo. You're gonna have a ban. But you got it. Go to he calls it 13 and 16. 16. Go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16.
Right.
And he causeth all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell,
Now, no man might buy or sell. Go ahead.
save he had the mark.
Right. See, when it says no man shall buy and sell, that is a form of embargo. But it says that what? That embargo is gonna be under a mark.
Yeah.
So okay, you're saying that's what I'm saying. I could give you the embargo part if you just go into the understanding of the word. When it says you can't trade, buy, or sell, that is a form of embargo. But it says that embargo is gonna be under a mark. So my question to you, Zabak, is okay, the embargo is gonna be a part of it, but it says that embargo is gonna be under a mark. What is that mark? The embargo and the mark is two separate things.
Right.
Not being able to trade, that's gonna be an embargo. So read that again. Not being able to trade, sell, and buy, that's going to be an embargo. But it says it's going to be under a mark.
Yeah.
So tell us what that mark is. Go ahead, read it again.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell,
Start again from the top.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16.
Right.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right, so that's the mark right there. Okay, now go to the next verse.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark.
Right, no man might buy and sell. That is a form of embargo, save he has the mark. So now you got to tell us, you can't tell us that the mark of the beast is embargo. The embargo is not being able to trade. But it says that all of that craziness is going to happen under a mark. So you got to tell us what the mark is. So embargo is not the mark. So now what you going to say is Christianity?
Right.
What you talking about? So you saying if you don't believe in Christianity, then you're not going to be with Christianity's. You got to understand something. In the planet of the elites, Christianity is going to be done away with. Did you see Project Megiddo, man? Do you know what's in Project Megiddo? Anybody that's seen with the scriptures, with the Bible, before it states all the groups, it says anybody that's seen with the Bible at that time is going to be what? Deemed a terrorist. So how can it be if Christianity is going to allow me to partake and bypass the embargo, why would then in the same time Christianity be listed under Project Megiddo? So Christianity is not the mark.
Can't be.
Embargo is not the mark.
Can't be.
Tell us, yes, would there be, again, I'm going to say this again, would there be a form of embargo? Yes, not being able to trade back and forth, that's a form of embargo. But it says it's all going to happen under a mark. So tell us what that mark is, man.
Right.
That's the question that we got,
Yeah.
for you, man.
Go to 14th chapter. And the reason why we stressing on this thing is because there's going to be a big spectacle about it, man. You got Revelation 14. Get the point there.
This is Revelation 14. I start at 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great that great city, because she made all nations drink the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
Right, and also you got to understand something. We're going into a stage and a point now where, of course, we've known that Christianity has been a part of the image, but Christianity is going to be left behind as we go into the New World Order. You have to understand that. In the New World Order of the elites, Christianity is going to be behind.
It's going to be like Hunger Games.
It's going to be, right, it's going to be a godless type. The New World Order is not about the Edomite Caesar Borgia being put up there.
Even the Book of Eli. He wanted to get his hands on the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
If
That's
you
right.
had that, he would put you to death for that thing in that movie. Remember that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the plan of the elites is not to have. That's why, man. Listen,
If this book doesn't matter and it's not real, why are people who have it deemed a terrorist?
hey, man.
It makes no
You think-
sense.
you think-
The 48 laws of Ma'at, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, is not on the list, bro.
So-
the Quran's up there, though. You know.
And we have to make this clear once again, to make this clear. When the New World Order since you want to run to Christianity and say that Christianity is the mark, the New World Order would not be about a whole bunch of Christian churches being built up and everybody being forced to go into Christian churches. That's not, no. The New World Order, actually, they're going to shut down all these so-called Christian churches. And they're going to go into what Esau is, which is a man that what? Let me get on Psalms. It says Psalms 14 and 1.
Oh, yeah.
The fool said there is no God.
That's a good point, yeah.
Esau is not about setting up. The only reason why he set up this so-called God, right, of Caesar Borgia, going back to what's that? The one that Serapis Christus. The only reason why he set that up is why? Because he wanted to get the minds, the hearts of the Israelites, right? He needed to come up with an image of a man whose life would kind of marry, so-called marry, or imitate the life of Yahweh Shai,
Right.
to capture the minds of whom? Of Israel, so-called Negro, Spanish, and Native Americans. But now that he's captured the minds, right? He's been captured the minds of our people. Esau ain't worried about Christianity. Christianity ain't gonna be part of the New World Order. The New World Order is about a godless society ran by technocrats, meaning Edomite rulers, Illuminati, that that's pretty much gonna be about controlling humans through machines, man. Because ultimately, that's what Esau is about. He's a man of what? Of machinery. That's what he deals with. Half man, half machine. That's his ultimate level of witchcraft, which is his technology. So at this point, Christianity is going to be pushed to the side. So you can't use Christianity and saying that's the mark of the beast. He's past that, man. That's one of the tricks that he used to get our people. Right?
Psalms 14 and 1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God.
Right?
They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good.
That's right. The elites don't worry about Caesar Borgia and all that. Like I said, that's a card that they played during the Renaissance, all the way up to, you know what I'm saying, the 60s, 70s, really all the way up to the 60s. Because in the 60s, that's when, the Spirit of the Lord came into Abba Bibbins, and then that's when the truth of Yahweh Bashim Shah was revealed, right? Right here in the Western Hemisphere, and then across the world. So from the Renaissance in the 1300s, matter of fact, it's Revelation 20. Revelation 20, starting 1.
Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit,
Right.
and a great chain in his hand.
Right?
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, that old dragon and Satan is not talking about a spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about his physical representative, which is Edom Esau. It's talking about the Edomites. Okay, when the Roman Empire fell, it was that period of what? That period of 1,000 years where they were in a low state. All right, Jake was ruling. Some of the Arabs was doing their thing. The Moors, was doing their thing. Of course, you got the King James, so on and so forth. And really before King James, all these other kings that was ruling in France and different places. Now, during the Renaissance, after that 1,000-year period, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was from 308. I think it was from 308 to beginning with Constantine. Constantine and Constantinople, 308 all the way to the 1300s. So that's about 1,000 years. So after that 1,000 years, Esau comes out of the shadows, right? Through the Roman Catholicism, right? The papistry, if I'm saying it right.
Yep.
He comes through that, and then remember back then, the Roman Catholicism was reigned by so-called Negroes. So he crept in there, and then of course the church and the government were all what? They were all in cahoots. So he went through the church. The church pretty much ran the government a lot of times, and next thing you know, that's how Esau kind of rose up in the government.
The church had the money.
Right.
The church had the money. If you didn't have money, you couldn't rule.
That's right. And a lot of the kings, before they went to war, they had to go to the Pope. Right? They had to have the agreement of the Pope. If the Pope wasn't with it, the people wouldn't be with it, because the people didn't really mess with the governments like that, but the people surely devoted their souls to, to the church.
That's why in the last kingdom, what was it that it was real important for that Dane or whatever, in order for him to be a king of whatever territory he was in, they said that he had to get baptized in front of the people, so the people would agree with him. You know, because the Danes, they were considered heathens. You know what I'm saying? But if you got baptized or bowed down to the ways of the Roman Catholic Church or Christianity, if you will, you got voted, and people agree with you.
Right, because they got it from us, in the sense that even the kings of Israel always spoke to the prophets before they made major moves. So they kind of imitated that back in the Dark Ages. You know, they imitated that when Esau came in and all that. They imitated that and said, well, listen, for the king to make a big move, he had to have the green light from the Pope. So Esau crept. That's why Esau didn't really creep up through the governments. He crept up through the church. And then outside from there, he was able to put his pieces. Then you see the rise of the Rothschilds and the bankers, and they're being spread around all of Europe in these different places to take over their governments.
And that's nothing more than them ancient Edomite families, man.
That's right.
The rich ancient Edomite families, he just rose them families up again. Same exact experience.
Right. So when they rose up, Christianity was the thing. And they got used from the 1300s by Esau. He could have gotten rid of Christianity, but he didn't. He kept it, and he put his face on it. So
Revelation 20:3.
Right.
And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations no more.
Right, and then when it says no more, it's for a season, for a period of time. That period of time of 1,000 years. But in these churches, when they see that, they go into this rapture thing, where when they get raptured, Satan is going to be, the spiritual demon Satan is going to be put in chains for 1,000 years.
Yeah, he's going to be reprimanded and read his rights.
Right, you know, just sad, man. It's sad because it makes it's fables, man.
Yeah.
The fables. Matter of fact, what's that on 2 Timothy 4?
That's a scary story, you know. What's that? Nick After Dark. Tales of the Crypt. Yeah, Tales of the Crypt. That's what it is. It's Goosebumps, man.
Yeah, man. I saw it.
It's like watching Goosebumps series.
It's fables, man. It's fables. But you know, the scripture says that our people love to be deceived. You know, our people love. What's that? Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs 17.
Yeah, our people are living in a Twilight Zone, man. That music for the Twilight Zone, that's the music that's running around in their head over and over again. It's on repeat. Yeah, that's the theme. That's the 2/3 theme song, man. Yeah, that confusing noise, you know. You know, it's that black and white. There's no color. It's real plain. You know, but it's just these oddball stories, man. You know, just terrifying, weird ass stories. Go ahead, bro.
2 Timothy 4:4. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
There you go. So that's the mindset of our people. Turning away their ears to the truth, but be turned into fables.
Where's that at? What precept is that again? I'm gonna look up fables real
2
quick.
Timothy 4:4.
Now hit that on Proverbs right quick.
This is Proverbs chapter 17.
Speak louder, brother.
This is Proverbs chapter 17, verse 4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips.
You see that? There's something about that. You wonder why all of this wickedness goes on, and they just rocking with it, right? That's why the Lord said, "What? I have a controversy against the inhabitants." You think these people are innocent?
Yeah.
These people love to be lied to. They know what their government is doing.
The word for fables there is the Greek word mythos,
Oh, myth,
like myth.
myth.
Speech, words, saying, narrative, story, fiction, and invention, falsehood.
That's right. So our people they rather listen to myth.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like, oh, Mary was a virgin and never had sex. You know, immaculate conception. That's all myth. Our people rather hear, you know, mythological stories like, again, the whole Satan being in chains and Satan being thrown down on earth after battling God. That's all Greek mythology. Okay? It's all Greek mythology that the so-called white man Esau fabricated. Really, it was Negroes actually going back to ancient Greece. They had all these ideas, and then the Edomite Greeks, right, the so-called European Greeks, grabbed it and made statues of these gods, and then trying to use these stories to make it match with the scriptures. Why? They're trying to get the minds of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. And the foolish of our people have always fallen for that. Okay?
Revelation 20:3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations no more.
Right, the seal is really the Most High took away Esau's demonic creativity, man. Because that's what it is for a period of 1,000 years. Because Esau, listen, Esau's a genius when it comes to what? Evil. You know, he's really crafty. He knows how to be wicked. He's super good at that. But for that period of time, the Most High put a seal, right? It's kind of like when you put the genie is in a bottle, because there's a seal. Because genius, the word genie goes back to genius. And Esau's a genius of evil. So the Most High had to put a seal, meaning what? The Most High took away his demonic creativity. For 1,000 years, he couldn't do shit. He couldn't rise up through the ranks. He couldn't, you know, he couldn't do what he does. But the Most High released those seals. And guess what he did? He crept up into that church and the government, and it was a wrap.
Esau's like Chucky, man.
Yeah,
You don't keep Chucky locked up. You're gonna tear shit up.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
long as he was locked up.
That's kind of what it was. What was that? What's the title for Chucky?
Chucky.
Chucky. It's something doll or something.
Chucky
He was a dog.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that was another type. I mean, yeah, but that's what it is, though. I like that. That's a good analogy.
It says,
You got that.
Kill a dog.
hey, it says till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, and after that, he must be loosed a little season.
Right. So after that, he got loosed a little season. But what season? That season was what? From the 1300s up until now.
Oh, child's play.
Right, child's play. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Child's play. Right. So he got loose. Esau got loosened for what? For a season. And that season started back in the 1300s, during the Renaissance, the rebirth. That's when he came in. That's when you had what's called iconoclasm. We got the iconoclasm. The sign.
Yeah, this is the man that's ruling the earth right here. That's the face, the creator of chaos. I'm gonna do a video on that called Just That, Lord Willing, the creator of chaos.
Yeah.
This nigga, this is the nigga that had me shook when I was a little kid.
Yeah, same here, brother.
You know?
Same here.
It shook right up until I found out the truth, really.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
You know?
I remember first
let
watching.
a grown Chucky pull
I
up.
first watching Child's Play, and then my pops was like, I'm trying to go to the bathroom. Pops was like, yo, Chucky's in that joint.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there holding like, you serious right now? You know what I'm saying? I had to see with the lights on, bro. You hear a little noise, the door moves a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You think Chucky is getting in there. So that was some real creepy
This
stuff.
is Chucky when he wants your votes for November. See? That's when he wants your votes
Oh my God.
for November.
And he got his head is like fucking Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Oh, he don't have it?
But you know what? That's that dumbass
This
little
song-
nigga woman they making too.
Right, so,
And she got the same pride, man. She falls right behind Esau. That's why it says, let not a wicked woman gather abroad.
yeah.
The same thing applies, man. You let her loose, she gonna cause chaos,
You
man.
talking about Hillary?
Now I'm talking about the nigga woman.
Oh, the nigga. Oh,
She's like this devil, you know?
yeah, she
Because
is.
of her pride, you let her out here do what she wants. She's gonna be a hoe causing chaos in other people's families, man, in the earth. Walking up on grown lines. Remember that end up walked up on the line?
Yeah. I mean, but our women have been there. Our women, when it comes to them, it is what it is. They like I said, women just listen to the power that is. Right now we're not in power, so our women are not gonna listen to us. So you just gotta understand that and wait. When we get on power, listen. When we take the power, our women are not gonna talk to us the way they talk. None of this is gonna happen. They're doing this because we don't have power, and they know we don't have power. So let's say it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this though: when we call you a commodity, don't complain, because you clearly, just like any commodity, right? The gold and silver goes to who? To whoever got the power. So if you're gonna rock just like the money rocks, Now don't expect me to look at you more than just a commodity, because that's what you are. You just rock with whoever controls, whoever's in power the most.
Yeah, whenever you deal with a woman, you're dealing with monetary transactions every time.
Because if you wasn't a commodity, then you wouldn't be out here moving the way our enemy wants you to move.
If you want to go kick it with a chick, that might cost you something for that day. You might have to budget because you gotta go hang out with a fucking chick. You know what I'm saying? Who's claiming she's independent, but she wants your shekels. You know?
Yeah, man.
She wants your shekels. Yeah, she wants your coins.
Revelation 20:4.
But it really is not even that she wants your coins. She wants you to spend your coins, but those coins are not going in her pocket. It's going to Esau's pockets.
Yeah.
That's why they say 70%. They say 70% of commercials, TV commercials, target women.
Yeah, they tell us that. When I worked in retail, if you train in any retail store, they'll tell you that they cater a lot of the themes and stuff throughout the stores for women, because it's mostly women in their shop.
I always go back to Jules. Every kiss begins with K.
Yeah.
Right, they put that commercial right there. They know the woman ain't buying these diamonds, but the woman's gonna put the pressure on the man to buy these diamonds. And so ultimately, that's how Esau does his thing. The reason why he always uses our women to destroy the men. But it's not nothing new. Hitler did the same thing. Hitler wrote a book called Mein Kampf. And in the book, he said, if you want to take over a people, first take over the woman. Take over the mind of the woman, and then she'll train the children, then the men will follow. So that's the reason why the so-called white man Esau has given this tremendous power to the black women, Hispanic women, Native American women over what? Over the men. So that's how they keep us in control, man. What?
Yep, Revelation 20, and I'm gonna skip down to 7.
What?
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison,
Right?
and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
That's right. So now he's going out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. He deceived the nation with what? With his image. You don't have. Oh, we have it. His image, which is what? We have it right here. His philosophy, right? The Edomite philosophy, which it started with democracy. He always pushes democracy, which you call bipartisanship, right? You gotta have two or three political parties, but democracy is failing. We getting ready to have a civil war in America. So if democracy worked, why is it that you applied democracy in Africa, it didn't work? You try to put democracy in the Middle East, it didn't work. And now the democracy that you have right here in the West is crumbling, man. So that tells you democracy is trash, okay? You have, of course, the religion, which going back to what we was talking about, enslaving the minds of our people under Christianity, okay? That's part of the works of the devil. Christianity is part of the works of the devil, man. You have idolatry, idol worship, of course, lies, adultery. Adultery is big because in this society, when a man or woman, when they commit adultery, they just say cheating. And when you know there's no consequences to cheating in America, but according to the scriptures, adultery, you're supposed to be put to death. Covetousness, right? Want what your neighbor has. These are all major sins, man. The way that the so-called white man moves, the Edomites, the way he moves is what is totally contrary to the scriptures, man.
It says, Gog and Magog to gather them together to battle.
Like Gog and Magog is talking about Gog and Magog. It's a coded word, it's a coded name for the nation that's going to destroy America. The main nation that's going to destroy America by thermonuclear missiles in the scripture is called Gog and Magog. Who is Gog and Magog? I wish we had the map, but we got it. Now, when you go to now this is a modern day map, but when you go to the ancient map, we got the old ones? I don't think we got the ancient. You do?
Yeah, some of them. You could point out the regions better.
Yeah, not over here. Flip.
That one's a little bigger. You
Yeah.
can't really see it though.
Nah, flip it. When you go to Gog and Magog, you go to the ancient map. Gog and Magog is in this area right here. You would have Magog was right here, And Gog is this huge area right here. We have Russia and you have Magog right underneath, which Russia and all of these neighboring nations like Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, you know, all of these surrounding nations, they were once part of what? The USSR. So Gog and Magog was what was known as the USSR. So ultimately, the most powerful nation out of all of them is what? Is Russia. So now go back to Revelation 20 and 8. You can do it.
Revelation 20 verse 8. I'll start back from the top. And shall go out